Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Know-How is brought to you by CashFly.
This episode of Know-How is brought to you by Ifixit, the free online repair manual for everything. Before you start your next fix or build, head over to ifixit.com/twit to snag the fully loaded Pro Tech Toolkit for only $59.95 and check out their array of high-quality parts, tools, and guides. And by the Ring Video Doorbell. With Ring, you can see and talk to anyone at your door from anywhere in the world using your smartphone. It's like caller ID for your house. Go to ring.com/knowhow and get up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit. Today on Know-How,
we're gonna play some games.
Know-How. It's a Twitch show where evidently we do super Kamehamehas.
Yes.
Build, bend, break, and upgrade. And today we're going to goof around. We haven't done one of these episodes in a while. Jason.
Hi.
Good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good to see you, too.
You haven't been on for like a month because, you know, kids. You've got kids.
Well, I was on a couple of weeks ago and we did the bubbler thing.
Yeah, the Mad Science bubbler.
Yeah.
And since then, we've also done Scully. We've done
the Scully work was really cool.
Actually, this is the aborted Scully that we've left on.
That's the fuzzy Scully.
Yeah, this is the Patrick Delahanty doesn't quite have a good printer Scully. And the skull cap actually came off.
I mean, I'm not entirely convinced that you couldn't like finesse this with a sander.
And it is a skull, and it does look kind of aged, although
paint this right, and this thing could actually look really cool.
Well, it's glow in the dark right now, so you could.
Oh, you don't want to be without that, yeah.
You could put this outside, and I'm pretty sure the kids won't destroy it because they'll think it's already destroyed.
I mean, pieces are kind of brittling off as I hold it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. That's okay. We'll put Scully back in his slot over here.
Get back there.
But Jason, we're not here to talk about Scully. In fact, this is not about Halloween at all. This is the goof off session of Know-How.
You found the right person.
Yeah, I love this. Now, of course, we're going to be taking a look at some Android games.
Okay.
I've got some Windows Steam games that I've been enjoying. And a little later, there's something that you found connected to the little mixed reality headset that I got the other week that you've kind of enjoyed.
Basically, once I discovered that this certain thing that we'll talk about a little bit later was on Windows Mixed Reality, I couldn't help myself when I saw it, the machine piled up in the corner. I had to install it and buy the game, and we're going to show it off. It's one of my favorites.
They knew this, by the way, because that was the very first thing. When you clicked on the Windows Store inside that virtual reality environment, it was the game. You'll see the game in just a bit. But we're going to get to that. First, what I want to do is I want to jump into some mobile games. Right. This is important. We are approaching peak travel season. It's not the summer, but we're getting close to the Thanksgiving break. We're getting close to the holiday Christmas break. We need something for parents to give their children to occupy their time, or maybe for parents to be able to have on that long road trip where they're kind of done with the silence, they're kind of done with looking out the window, and they really, really don't need to talk to family. What do you got?
Okay, so Android games. I will preface this by saying that my list is by no means a list of games you've never heard of, but my list is definitely a small list of games that I go back to time and time again.
Yeah, none of the games that we're going to be talking about on this episode are new. There is no game here that you have not seen before if you're into games.
Totally.
But these are the games that we've come to enjoy.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I picked out basically 5 that I absolutely love, that I've gone back to time and time again, that I'm still not very good at. But even though I'm not very good at it, and even though there are always new games coming out and I'm playing all these things, I still end up installing these games on my device when I get a new device to test, for example, so that when I'm bored, traveling, that sort of thing, I have them on queue. So we'll start off with, I think, a list, a game that's probably on so many lists, and at this point, if you haven't played it, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You need to rush out and install
Pokemon Go.
No, that's not on my list.
No,
I couldn't get into it. Maybe that makes me a bad person, boring,
I don't
whatever.
think so, really.
Monument Valley, which
I have not heard of this
Okay,
before.
so Monument Valley it's a puzzle game. I'm going to go ahead and send it through on the Note 8 that I have here. And basically, as you play through this game, the levels kind of have an MC Escher kind of quality to it. You can see I need to move this platform here. If I tap over here, my little character will walk over to where I tap.
Oh, I love puzzle
I'll go
games.
down here to switch the switch. That rises up, and then I have to figure out, okay, well then what do I do? Do I go back on this platform? And then, no, when I'm on the platform, it doesn't turn. So maybe I go over here. And it comes back, and so I had to figure out what is the right order for all of this stuff in order to solve the puzzles. The level design is really top-notch. I mean, this game is beautiful, has awesome music to it, playing in the background. It doesn't take very long to beat. It probably takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours. To really conquer it, but the levels are super challenging because of this kind of like visual twisting.
Actually,
of the mind.
I love that audio. That's, you know what, this strikes me of, there's a little bit of mist in here, and I loved playing that game as a kid. It's just sort of like you look at this immersive world and you say, okay, well, I have to get from this point to that point. Sounds easy, is actually hard.
Well, and you can kind of see like the perspective shifts, and this is what makes it so cool. You see that platform up top, which is obviously above my character. When I shift it this way, suddenly,
that is definitely,
connects.
yeah, that's way MC Escher.
Right, and so that's what it's all about. It's all about kind of like forcing your brain to see these puzzles in a different light that doesn't make a whole lot of logical sense, let's say. You know, you can never replicate this in the real world.
Oh, how many levels are in this thing?
Oh, that's a really great question. I don't know exactly how many. I want to say, and each level has like different, you know, parts to it.
Right.
I would say somewhere around 10-ish. I mean, I don't know, but it takes a while to go through.
That's the kind of game that I can definitely get into because, you know, it's kind of relaxing. It's a little zen.
Yeah,
it works your mind.
It totally is.
But you've got Dr. Morbius in the chat room saying that he hates puzzle games because they're contrived. He likes logic puzzles instead. I get that. Okay, that's a little different. I'm not so much into logic puzzles. I kind of like this immersive experience. Wait, what's this now?
So this is, okay, so I passed that level.
So this is like
kind of like
screen.
the entrance into the next place. And now that I said 10 out loud, I could be totally undershooting it. But basically, you know, we would go in here and it would set out a new layout, Chapter 3, Hidden Temple. And you've got this whole area to kind of explore and figure your way through it. It is totally a puzzle game, Dr. Morbius. Sorry to disappoint you. One of the reasons that it's on my list is because the long-awaited sequel, Monument Valley 2, is now up for pre-register.
Okay, yes, that I have heard. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the Monument Valley 2 is one of the most anticipated games.
Yeah, I mean, this game...
That explains it.
This game, I think, came out last year, and it was a huge hit.
Is it only Android, or is this... It's Android,
and in
iOS,
fact, well, there's
Windows?
at least one game on my list that is only Android. But most of these games are cross-platform.
Oh, what's this going to cost me? Let's say I do want to dive into Monument Valley. Is there a free trial?
Nope, it's straight up $3.99. That'll get you the full game.
Oh, come on.
And that's the kind of game that you can, you know, when you're on an airplane with no Wi-Fi connection, just have it installed and you can play through it. Actually, kill a couple hours.
Go ahead. You keep doing your thing.
Okay,
I think
you're gonna run out of money at the end of this segment. Next up is one of my and I have one that's missing from this list, so I'll just have to wing it on that one. But next up is the Square Enix Go series. Have you ever heard of the Go series?
Like Pokemon Go?
No, different. Pokemon Go came after.
I'll keep coming back to Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I know, obviously. Lara Croft Go. There's
Zoom
a couple
Go.
of Hitman Go.
Oh, okay. So all the popular games, but in sort of a mobile format.
Yes, and what I really like about them, and I'm waiting for it to load up, but apparently it's not. Did it just turn off? Did my phone just die? No. Well, it did, kind of. So let me get back in here and
all I know is I've got Monument
through.
Valley now.
So, okay, so there are a few different ones. And they're all on sale, by the way. Right now, they're normally $4.99. You can get them for 99 cents on sale right now, and I don't know why it's not launching. It was working for me earlier. It could be the Chromecast that's getting in the way. But if you go to the Play Store, you can kind of see. Again, it's puzzle. If you haven't noticed by now, I really like puzzle games. I feel like they're good time wasters. And it's just a cool way to bring these new characters and these new worlds, in this case, Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider series, into kind of this step-by-step, I don't know, level design. So you follow the predetermined path. Somewhere along the line, there might be a switch that moves a different, you know, platform in another part of the screen. I guess in some ways,
so this is like Monument Valley, but with things that can kill you.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. You might have some snakes that appear along the way to get in the way, and so you have to, you only have a certain amount of bullets, so you have to plan out each level and understand, do I go there before firing at this snake, or do I go over here before pulling the lever so that I can fire at that snake?
I do kind of like that, though, because then it gives you multiple ways to complete a level. It's like I could go firefight, or I can get super tricky.
Yeah, and there's a lot of levels. These take a good amount of time. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not enjoying my Chromecast connectivity on that. So, so I guess the case in point is don't Chromecast when you're playing this game. Yeah, and it'll work for you.
I noticed a lot of games actually don't like to be Chromecasted just because they get a bit more graphics intensive.
Yeah, and get a bit more weighed down. Yeah. Another game that I really like, and this one is Android only as far as I know, is a series called Framed and then Framed 2. I became aware of this game with the sequel, Framed 2, and that is $4.99 right now. And what's unique about this game, and I think I'm Chromecasting this at this point, are you getting it?
Ooh, okay, I like this design.
Yeah, this is for the comic book aficionado. And the idea behind this is that every level, it's telling a story, it's telling like a super secret spy story here, but every level has comic book panels in it, and you have to figure out the proper order of those panels in order to get through it. And it isn't just as easy as so okay, I'm gonna play through this. So right now, here's my guy, he's walking through, he's gonna duck through that alleyway, and you'll notice someone lurks up behind him. And so he comes out the second panel, out of the little entrance. You can see what's gonna happen, right? Right. He's gonna go in the third panel, and part of the floor has kind of disappeared. He's gonna slip and he's gonna go away. So you have the ability to reorder these so that he goes behind the panel up here at the top.
Okay.
Right, and then he'll pass through on the second panel, on the second pane of the comic book, and then pop out and move on to the next stage.
Okay.
And it isn't just setting the order prior to hitting play. As you go later, it involves reusing panels in real time while you're going, and it gets really complicated.
It's like changing the maze as someone's running the maze.
Yes, exactly. So you can see this is, it's gonna follow
so the game continues even as you're reordering panels?
Yeah, so I could reorder these if I wanted to, and it'll freeze time until I do. But I was too late on freezing time on that one, and he's gonna go into the missing floor panels there. And
don't do it! Don't do it, little guy! Don't do it!
See you later! Man! But it's a really unique kind of level design, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just a great game to
go pricing on now this is Android only, but what's the pricing on this?
Sorry, my Chromebook
well, that means it's
free.
Out.
I think it's $5. $4.99. $4.99. So that's a lot of fun. You can spend a lot of time with that. This one, I mean, anyone who's watched the show, I have to imagine, knows the Fallout series, Fallout Shelter.
Yes.
Fallout Shelter is a lot of fun, which actually cracked me up. I haven't played it in a while. And so when I installed it on the Note 8, which again, it's not going to pull it up. So this is another one that's not going to pass through. Anyway, you're not missing a whole lot. Basically, when I pulled it up and synced from the cloud, I noticed it was a game from like, I don't know, months ago. And I mean, everything's going to hell right now. I mean, there's sirens, sounding off. There's someone going around killing everybody. Like, I probably didn't want to log back into that as well, because
this is one of those games that it runs in real time even if you're not there. So you have it encourages you to log back in often to reset and re-strategize. And yours has exploded. Like, maybe that's actually one of the things that happens when you leave it alone too long.
Apparently, I'm just trying to get my phone back to life. It's like getting all caught up. So that's not working, obviously. I don't think this might be toast. And that. Come on, Samsung. I think Fallout Shelter just destroyed my phone. That's how much of a state of disarray my Fallout Shelter is in. Hey, how did you get into my phone?
I've got the magic
There's supposed
touch.
To be security on this thing. Okay, and so Fallout Shelter, I mean, I feel like everybody knows about that already, but it's totally about building your Fallout and managing the people that are involved and keeping them healthy, making sure you have enough kitchens and enough people working in the kitchens to facilitate the rest of the...
Is it massively multiplayer? Are you actually having other people in your environment, or is it just you versus...
It's just you versus the computer, yes. But, I mean, you build this up to be 30, 40, 50 inhabitants, and it gets really complicated and challenging, making sure that they all have the right resources to stay afloat? Are they powering their energy plant? Are they powering their water plant? You know, it's a balance. It's kind of a SimCity sort of thing, and it's a lot of fun to play. That's free, but with in-app purchases, you can go broke, so keep that in mind. And the final one that I actually didn't make it into the dock, and I'm hoping that it passes through for that reason, is called it's the Riptide GP series. And this, did you ever play Wave Racer?
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
It's kind of like Wave Racer. This is Riptide GP Renegade specifically. And this is actually a game that I use, this whole series I use often when I get a phone that I'm reviewing and I want to test performance. Because these games are very fast-paced, very graphics intensive, and also a lot of fun. So I don't mind spending 20, 30 minutes playing through it to kind of get a sense of the performance of the device. But it's totally Wave Racer, right? Like it's a water-filled environment. You're on a jet ski from the future in this case. When I move my phone side to side, that's my steering. So I'm not doing it with my thumbs, although you can set it up that way. And you can see I'm not gonna look at that.
I remember spending so much money on the original. They had one of those Disney arcades in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. And it's just got really good graphics. It's just a lot of fun. I love racing games, and this one's, it's just a good time. And sometimes I want that fast-paced kind of arcade-style experience, you know, on my mobile device. And I feel like sometimes games like this are lacking. And this one has it where it needs it.
Well, I like your assortment because we've got the puzzle game that you can just sort of pick up and put down at will. You've got the game that requires a little bit of comic book thinking. You've got the game that keeps running, so you have to keep coming back.
Yeah, you have to
It's for the people who are addicted. And then you've got this is the non-puzzle game, just action, and you're losing really bad.
I'm doing really bad. Hey, you know, it's not always easy to play. Here, do a fun thing. There, I did a bar hop. So when you're in the air, you know, you can kind of do different finger gestures to do tricks and stuff. I have this to speed up really fast and go boost my speed. I'm doing horrible, but still,
yeah, you're trying to host a show at the same time.
Exactly.
So I get it. I understand.
Exactly. Don't blame me, bro.
Don't.
All right, so that's it. Some Android games that I keep going back to and I have a lot of fun with.
A little something for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter how many kids you got in the car, or no matter how much of a kid you are, something for everyone, except the logic puzzle. And if you want the logic puzzle, go play Sudoku.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
What if I wanted to be able to project these games? What if I wanted something like I could take on that car trip, that Thanksgiving trip, that holiday trip? That
Impossible.
No.
No?
Totally not, bro. Totally not, bro.
Oh.
And actually, I'm going to need a little help here. If you could, we've got this. This is a super secret panel. Yeah, we're going to set this down.
Look at that.
This is going to allow you to do a first look at a device that I got this past week. And I got to say, again, they sent this to me. I was a little skeptical because I've seen a lot of Pico projectors, and they're kind of cool, except
it's better than not having one, but it's not something that you always want to use in the way you think you would, because they just don't quite get there.
I love the claims. It's sort of like, this will fill the room with sound with 2 watts, and it can be a 50-inch picture as long as you're in complete darkness.
Yes, complete darkness, absolutely.
This is not that. This is actually a collaboration between Mars and Anker. Now, Anker is known for making battery packs. That's what they do. Right. So what they've done is they've created a little unit that's battery powered, and it's actually a 3,000 lumen projector.
Dang.
This is not just visible in a dark room. 500 ANSI lumens, which is the equivalent of 3,000 lumens. It uses a 3,000 LM LED lamp, 1280 by 800, so they call it 800p, but it will scale down higher resolution, so it'll work. Dual 10-watt speakers. So this actually is really loud. You could be in like a hotel room and fill the room with just the speakers.
And that's through the sides, I assume?
Through the sides.
Firing out the sides.
But it also has audio out, and I love this part. It has Bluetooth. So, for example, my favorite are the Fugu speakers, which will pair with each other.
Put them out in the corners.
Put them out in the corners, and you've got surround sound off of this little unit.
That's
also,
cool.
almost 20 amp hour battery, 19,500 milliamp hour battery. That's good for running this thing at about full for about 3 hours. I mean, so it will get you through a movie. Also, wireless connectivity. It's 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, 802.11ab/GN, as well as running Android. So this is Android inside. This actually would be good for all that Android. Yeah, and you know, they've thought about things like since the prototype, because I saw the prototype at CES a while back. They used to have a lens cap, and I remember someone at the booth was saying, "Well, lens caps are nice, but they get lost. And then now the lens will get forever dirty. Well, what they did was they just did that, and that's also the on-off switch, which I'm like, oh, okay, clever.
Now, but it doesn't look like it goes all the way down. That's enough clearance for the actual lens, though.
Now, as this warms up, you're going to see how bright this thing is. I like the legwork that they've done into the design, because what they've done is they've created what I think is sort of an idiot-proof projector. Now, when you're setting up a projector, what's one of the nastiest problems that you're going to have? It's going to be the aspect.
Yes,
right?
exactly. It might be skewed a little bit, or it might be a little wobbled to the side, or whatever.
Unless you're hitting it straight on, the picture just won't work right. This will actually do automatic fixing, unskewing. So, like, for example, let me get really close here. If I do this, let's see, let's go up. Oh, actually, well, I wish the screen was higher. If you could see it, you'll see it in the full review.
I saw it snap a little bit.
Yeah, see how it snaps over? So it's got an accelerometer in there, and what it will do is it will actually automatically fix the angle. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's also, you could really finely focus this thing. I like the fact that they've given you this little target. It's like what we use for Twit.
I don't feel like on the camera it does it justice as far as how bright this is. Because this is really bright.
It's super bright. I mean, this actually,
and really sharp.
I was using this thing outside. I've never been able to use a Pico projector outside. Yeah,
now, but this has no awareness of the kind of angle of skew of the screen itself. So you still kind of have to go at it face on.
Yeah, it's got to be, you've got to have it at a 90-degree angle to the wall, but that's not normally what's the problem. The problem is it's up and down, and then you have to manually fix it. That's all automatic with this. Now, this also, as you can see, because it's Android TV, it's not straight Android, it's Android TV.
I love this thing.
Yeah, I know, right? So I have an HDMI input. I could go from USB, both music and video and pictures, so I could put a slideshow in there and just have it run. It will also do YouTube and any other apps that you can get for Android TV. Now, for example, if I go to YouTube here, there's a voice search, so you can enable voice search. I disabled it at some point, and that really kind of messed me up. But let's see what's popular on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Hey.
Go ahead and use this random ASUS phone.
So let's see. I need music. Selena Gomez. I don't know why that's showing up. I do not listen to Selena Gomez. I'm sorry. No. Now let me turn this up, and you can see how loud this thing is.
That sounds really nice.
Right? That's not tinny.
This is amazing. I love this thing. Now, okay, so how big? Like, obviously, this is a pretty small screen.
This is a super small screen. If I used it, let me turn this down a little bit so we don't get copyright strike.
Selena, come back.
Sorry, Selena.
Okay.
You're done. Right. I was able to project this as a 60-inch picture in a well-lit room. Okay. And that's not on a screen. That was on a wall, which is much less reflective than a screen. So, I mean, that's nice. That's really good.
Nice.
This is brighter than the large projector I used to carry around with. Now, they call it theater quality. I would kind of push back against that because for me, theater quality is at least 1080p, right?
Yeah.
This does 800p.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of that. It's less than 4 pounds. Now, the killer is the price.
150.
No.
160.
No.
165.
We're going to be doing this a lot. It's $600.
Dang!
Yeah,
no way.
so it's a little high on the price range.
Wow. Okay, that's pricey.
Yeah.
Still.
And actually, here's something else I do want to show you because I like this. Let me drop back into the menu. Oh, by the way, yes, remote, Bluetooth remote. It's kind of cool. So if I go to screen mirroring, I now have the ability to, both with iOS or Android, I can cast. Let me go.
And they're both connected to the same Wi-Fi, or are you casting directly to this?
I am casting directly.
Oh, okay.
So it works just like a Chromecast. In fact, I'm connecting right now. Give it a second. Unfortunately, my phone is a little on the slow side, but I did connect this morning, and you're going to connect right now, right? Come on, right? Right?
You know, a technology show wouldn't be a technology show without
come on,
issues.
no, do this.
It's part of the game that we play.
Actually, you should probably try casting to it with yours.
So, but it doesn't have to be on the same Wi-Fi connection, right? Because with the Chromecast, that's how I had to connect to it. I had to be on the same Wi-Fi.
I can go direct. So I could have this in the car and just go, which is kind of cool. Well, I can see it. I think, you know what? I think actually I may have messed up this morning.
How I stall.
Normally this works. Normally this works.
No, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, okay. So unfortunately for me, because I'm using a OnePlus, the casting is kind of hit or miss, and I think the fact that it worked this morning meant that it wasn't going to work on the show.
You spent your one time working for the day.
It'll work again when the cameras are off.
That's okay. I trust you.
Now, you know, aside from the price, though, this is a really well-made unit. I'm not accustomed to seeing portable projectors built so well. It's solid.
Yeah,
doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. I didn't have to baby step. I did drop this. Yeah, it's got a mounting on the bottom.
Yeah, a little mounting screw.
I did accidentally drop this off a table, and it didn't suffer any ill effects. So, I mean, obviously the optics are a bit more hardened than I've expected out of small projectors.
Yeah.
It's just, they've done a really good job. A really good job. We're going to do a full review. This is just a first look at the Nebula, the Nebula Mars from Anker.
Dang, that price, though.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I mean, if this was like $400, that'd be an easy buy.
That seems...
At $600, it's like, well, that's phone range.
Yeah. But do you need another phone, really?
I need all the phones, Jason.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny because I just upgraded from a OnePlus One to the OnePlus 5. I was like, okay, the One was good, but...
Dang, you held on to that for a while.
Yeah, that was like 3+ years.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
I'm impressed.
Ultimately, what did it was...
Never done that.
It just wouldn't work anymore. It's like, oh, log in, okay.
That'll do it.
Click, 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 click. All right, let me put it down and get some coffee.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, the OnePlus One was a pretty darn good phone, especially for the price.
For that price. And the OnePlus 5 is pretty dang good. I mean, it's not a Note 8, but it's pretty good
it's
for
also
what
a different class, but it's one of the best for that class.
Right. Well, how about this, Jason? After this, we've done a little bit of the mobile stuff. So you've shown off some Android games.
Yep.
I've shown off a projector that would be good for travel. What if we kind of take a step forward and go from mobile, well, not literally.
Oh, sorry.
Just stay where you are.
Sorry.
But go from mobile to a little desktop play or a little mobile laptop play. Would you like to take a look at some of the games that I've enjoyed?
Yes.
All right. We're going to get to that in just a bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a moment to thank the sponsor of this episode of Know How. Now, this episode of Know How is brought to you by a sponsor that should come as no surprise because you've seen me use them in pretty much every project I've ever done here, and that's Ifixit. When you are a DIYer, when you are a maker, you need a supplier of tools and parts that understands what you're trying to do. Sure, you could drop by the defunct Radio Shack and check out what they got left on the shelves. You could go to Best Buy and maybe luck out. You could drop by the Home Depot and buy tools that aren't really made for your fine projects, or you could go to the source, the one place that understands exactly what you're trying to do and supports it with the tools made for it. Know How is a proud user of Ifixit tools. You know that they like to take stuff apart and teach people how to fix things. That's the culture. They're constantly posting teardowns and repair videos for popular devices like the Galaxy S8, the iPhones, and the Switch. They've also led the charge in the electronics repair tools industry with their iconic black and blue ProTech toolkit. Now, if you check out the ProTech toolkit in their store, they'll explain how each piece of the kit was meticulously designed. Not just a bunch of bits thrown into a case, but everything has a reason for being there. You won't find a higher quality toolkit like this on the market. Now, don't let that sleek design fool you. This toolkit's got both beauty and brawn with high quality steel bits and tools, tough enough to handle any repair or mod that you throw at them. It is only $59.95. Now, this tool roll makes it compact and easy to use. It includes a 64-bit driver kit that has all the bits you'll need for just about any DIY electronics repair. It's also got a protective case that keeps all your bits organized. This means that your toolkit isn't going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as the days progress. You just open it up, flip it over, and the bits won't fall out. The bit kit is held in place by a magnetic mat that doubles as the perfect spot to hold tiny components and screws so they don't go wandering off if your project takes longer than expected. They've also got a swivel top magnetic precision driver and a flex extension, also magnetic, for hard to reach screws. They've got a wide variety of plastic opening tools, spudgers, and picks to safely poke and pry with without destroying your case. Have you ever tried to pry open a laptop case with a flat screwdriver? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't do that. Do it the right way. Use the right tool. Use Ifixit. They've also got suction cups with a new fancy handle to remove display assemblies, their own rubber-handed Jimmy pry tool, and a set of metal spudgers, including ESD-safe tweezers and an ESD safety strap so you don't destroy your job with a jolt of static shock. And the best part? All their tools are backed by Ifixit's lifetime warranty. Try getting that from a Home Depot. You don't need to buy something to get Ifixit's free repair resources, by the way. They offer everything for free. You can check out over 25,000 free repair guides over at Ifixit.com. Now, folks, if you are a maker, if you're a DIYer, if you're tired of using the wrong tools, check out Ifixit. If you want to tackle your next hack, fix, or build with the ProTech Toolkit, just visit ifixit.com/twit to snag the fully loaded ProTech Toolkit for only $59.95. That's ifixit.com/twit. And we thank iFixit for their support of Know How. Oh, Jason, a while back, there was all this buzz, this hubbub about a game that was released that had been stirring up a lot of emotion because it kind of harkened back to the old animation days, called Cuphead. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that hubbub.
The hubbub. I know. Wow, I kind of old-timeyed myself with that, didn't I?
You remember the hubbub around Cuphead?
Well, son,
No, I remember, and I remember as if it was that long ago. It really wasn't that long ago. Super cool looking game. I got to play it at Alex's desk for, not very long, probably about like 15 minutes or so.
Right.
Fell in love with it immediately.
Yeah, the aesthetic is beautiful.
Oh, totally.
Really, if you know what Steamboat Willie looks like, you understand where they got the inspiration for the game. The play style
kind of made me wonder why it hadn't been done before.
Right.
Like, wait a minute, this makes a whole lot of sense. Why is this so new?
There's been that trend in video games to make it more realistic and more gritty and more real time. And this was sort of like, no. We don't care about any of that. We just want to make a game that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I thought what I would do is I would actually take a look at some games. Now, I am not a gamer, but this is the review from the perspective of the bad gamer.
I am not a pro gamer. In fact, I'm a bad gamer. I'm horrible at gaming. I'm the reason why they made cheat codes. I have no twitch reflexes. I'm not the last man standing. I'm the first noob waiting to respawn. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy games. If they're the right kind, and I've got maybe two that make the bad gamer list. The first is Cuphead. I got my first glimpse of this 2D multiplayer tour de force at E3, and it captivated me with its Steamboat Willie graphics and old-school shoot-'em-up gameplay. You don't need a backstory to play Cuphead, but there is one. You play an adorable character with a cup, far ahead, roll credits, who has made a not-so-adorable deal with the devil and is trying to win his soul back by becoming the devil's hitman. No, seriously. To help you go all John Wick on the pixel-poppin' bad guys, you get an unlimited supply of ammunition, dash and jump powers, as well as slapping, charge-up artillery, and the amazing, if all too often forgotten ability to duck. You can change out and buff up your weapons to suit particular levels, and you're rewarded for smart thinking more than for brute force. So you're a running, jumping, shooting, flying, slapping, sliding, badass cartoon character immersed in a beautifully rendered 2D world that looks like Tim Burton's childhood teamed up with the neighborhood kid who had mad doodle skills. Cuphead is a lot of fun, especially if you play with another gamer, and you'll sometimes find yourself dying because you got caught admiring some bit of animation in the background. Speaking of dying, you will die. A lot. Over and over. Get used to it, to the point of utter frustration, no matter how good of a gamer you are. Each time you die, you slip back to the last checkpoint, and this is as good an allegory for the game as anything. You have to recognize patterns, otherwise you go back to the start. That's how the game works, and that's what it rewards. If you take each death as an angst-inducing setback, then you'll hate Cuphead. If, however, you enjoy figuring out a way to get past each level that's just a little more clever than the last, then Cuphead might be just for you. But enough of demon-slaying, contract-killing, soul-ripping, anamorphic drinking implements with a serious glove fetish. I promised you 2 games for the bad gamer list, and the second is Splasher. Splasher is a single-player, cartoony 2D side-scroller that reminds me a lot of Super Meat Boy. But while Cuphead went all early days of animation on us, Splasher harkens to the kind of steampunk electronica kids who secretly thought Fooly Cooly was everything they needed to know in life, even as they overdosed on Sailor Moon and Pokemon. But I digress. You play a lowly worker at the evil corporation Inc. Corp. One day you discover that the boss, Doctor, has been experimenting on your fellow co-workers, and you decide to bust everyone out of a lair that looks like Dr. Morrow set up shop in a toxic waste dump. Your only weapon? A backpack that can be outfitted to shoot water, Stick Ink, which lets you climb walls and ceilings, and Bounce Ink, which lets you leap evil mutants in a single bound. There are more than 20 levels with 8 co-workers you need to save in each level, with a mastery of the liquids you can excrete, control over your jumping, and a keen eye for patterns. Splasher rewards you for imagination, giving you multiple ways to get through the maze while also letting you go as slow or as fast as you'd like. Like Cuphead, you will die a lot, and it can get annoying. But there are also wonderful moments of aha that happen again and again. Best of all, I find myself replaying old levels over and over to better my time. Shave a few seconds off a wall crawl or otherwise link together multiple jumps, sticks, bounces, and floats so I can parkour my way through the level like a pro. Both Cuphead and Splasher are crazy fun and easy to pick up for a few minutes just to get your gaming fix. They're both worthy of an addition to your gaming inventory, though if I could only choose one, this bad gamer is going with Splasher. Splasher is available now for $15 on Xbox One, PS4, and Windows. Cuphead is available on Xbox One and Windows for $20. I am Father Robert Balasair, the bad gamer, for Twit TV.
Nice. You passed the level.
I got to say that that's a lot more fun than maybe the screen suggests. I'm kind of a puzzle guy, but I like a little bit of action.
Yeah.
I have to say,
a lot of action,
Cuphead was beautiful. I died too much, and eventually it got so frustrating that I'm like, stop.
Well, I mean, that's a complaint that I've heard from a lot of people is that it's beautiful, it's just too hard.
Yeah. It's Dark Souls. It's Dark Souls of platforming.
Yeah. Although when I look at Cuphead and I look at the art style and how well the art style is rendered in a video game environment, and I mean, like if I was to go back to my childhood and see Cuphead playing, like gameplay footage of Cuphead playing, I would have been convinced that it was an animation from the era, from the older era, but I would have definitely thought it was an animation, not a game.
Well, Cuphead is one of those games where I would like to watch someone on Twitch who's really, really good at it. Because I think that if I did that, it would, it would be entertaining. It would be like watching that cartoon. But the fact that I die all the time, it breaks me out of that every time.
Yeah.
Like, and then eventually I get so frustrated because I died 15 times on the exact same spot, and I'm done.
Now, do you remember in the 80s the animation style of such hits as like He-Man and whatever, like really poorly done? Yeah. That's what we need now.
G.I.
We need
Joe,
a game with like
He-Man.
poor animation like that.
Yeah, well, like all of those were together. In fact, probably the best animation of that cadre. So He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe. Do you remember Tailspin?
Yeah.
That
good.
animation style was pretty good.
That was good.
Like classic Disney.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, but we totally digress. What I'd like to do though is I'd like to show people how they can take that mobile. Believe it or not, Splasher actually takes higher resources than Cuphead. Cuphead is relatively low. I can play Cuphead on the desktop I have here, which doesn't even have a high-end graphics card. Splasher, you're going to need a bit more. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of pixels being pushed. And so
it seems like a higher density of stuff.
Yeah. What I want to do is I want to show you the laptop that I'm actually working on right now. Again, we did a semi-first look. We really didn't have time to go through it as much as I'd like to. This is actually the Acer Aspire 7. We got a link there, Alex, that they can take a look at. This is a budget gamer. People know that I like the Asus Republic of Gamer machines, and I like the Acer Predator machines, but those, you're talking about $1,500, $1,600, maybe even $2,000 if you configured them the way you want. This is far more budget. We're talking about a 7th gen Intel quad core, not dual core, quad core i7 7700 HQ, 8 gigabytes of DDR4 expandable to 32 gigabytes, a 256 gigabyte Intel PCIe SSD, a 15.6-inch Full HD screen, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 with 2 gigabytes, that's their mobile part, gigabit Ethernet, an 802.11ac wireless card with a collapsing jack for Ethernet, by the way. I love this little, it's like the old X jack.
Oh, okay.
So it's a full-size Ethernet jack, but it expands. It's got little jaws.
And they did that so that they could have a little bit trimmer of a design.
Well, I'm tired of laptops in this size format that they don't include the Ethernet jack because, well, everyone's wireless. No.
Yeah.
If I'm buying a notebook this big that has the real estate, give me the jack. Because I always use it. If I have a wired network, I will plug into it over a wireless network every single time. It's also got one USB 3, two USB 2, HDMI, USB-C 3.1, a 3230 milliamp hour lithium poly battery. That's about 7 hours of power. I've been squeezing 8. The thing weighs about 5 pounds, and this is probably going to be my new video editing machine. I had to send back the Predator, which I was sad. But the nice thing about this versus the Predator is the Predator actually wouldn't fit into a regular bag.
Some of those Predator laptops, man, they're gigantic.
Yeah,
they're monsters.
I love them, but it's like, I'm not going to change my luggage so I can fit the laptop. This will fit. If you've got a notebook that will do like a bag that will do a 15-inch notebook, this will fit, which I really, really like. But we're going to do a full review both on the Nebula and on this and on the VR headset we looked at last week, the mixed reality. But what I want to do is I wanted to show Splasher just a tiny bit. Can you
go for it?
Can you indulge
splash
me?
away.
I'm going to splash away. So
let
me drop over to this, and then Alex can switch into it. There we go. So this is what Splasher looks like. Do you have the audio? You got to have the audio. The audio makes it all good because it's kind of techno. It's got a little something going for it. There we go.
Yep.
So right now I've progressed far enough where you see those liquids on my back.
Yeah.
So I've got water, and water just like cleans stuff. And then there's this. This is stick ink.
Oh, okay.
See how it
slows
slows me down?
I thought it was blood.
Right. It kind of looks like blood, but I can wash it away. And then there's this yellow stuff is bouncing. Yeah, see? So we'll do this.
Now, do you have a limited supply of each?
Nope.
Or?
You squirt away as much as you want. So let's see. Let's pick a level. Let's go here. Now let's do this one. This is kind of fun. Oh, hey, get up there.
Huh?
So on this particular level, I don't actually get the bouncing. So I only see, if you see my backpack, I've only got the red one and the blue one. I kind of
So some levels will omit certain things for different types of challenges.
So it's a lot like Super Meat Boy. If you've ever played Super Meat Boy, the gameplay works a lot the same way. Set off little triggers and traps. And then, see, it's also a logic game because I need to kill this thing, but the saw blade's up there. Now, I could do this. I could go ahead and do that, but the saw comes down. So what I have to do is I kind of have to entice this guy to come in my direction. Oh, a little closer. Oh, no, hold on. I have to reset. Otherwise, he's going to kill me. There we go.
Oh, so when it's charging, it's actually threatening.
And boom. What you got?
Nice. Looks like you've played this game before.
A little bit. I may have played like 40 hours or so.
And how much is this game again?
This was $14.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? I just found this immeasurably more fun than Cuphead. You die this a lot. This is not unlike Cuphead in that, but every time you die, you do get a bit more, and you understand that you were just wrong on the logic. Versus Cuphead, where it's a twitch game. If your reflexes are just not there, you just keep dying.
Yep.
Now, you want to try this?
As long as the controls are not so complicated that I look like a fool.
So I got the green button is jumping.
All right.
The red button is for shooting the red liquid, and the blue button is for shooting the blue liquid.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
And then if we had the yellow liquid, that would be for that. Okay, got it. Okay.
Oh, and green is jumping. So
okay,
so shoot that thing. Okay. No, good start. Good start. Okay. So you're going to stick to the wall using the red ink.
Okay.
There you go. And then all the way to the top. And then jump. And then squirt red ink. There you go. All right. Yeah, you got it.
I think I got it. Okay.
Heck yes.
Okay, but I want to go all the way up there.
All the way up. So
okay, cool.
Get to the ceiling.
See, honestly, if I could play
those
this, anyone can play it.
With the blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Boom.
So aim down. Oh. Running.
Right on, that's fun.
This is one of those games where the more you play, the more you get invested in it.
Yeah, right.
Versus in Cuphead, it's the more I played, the more I got frustrated. I wanted to throw the controller. Now there are a couple of levels here they are kind of timed, where like the poison is rising or the water is rising and it will kill you. But most of it is sort of sit back and say, okay, what's the best way to do this?
Sure.
And you find yourself replaying levels after levels because you kind of want to improve your time, or you want to say, I bet I could jump from here to here if I use some weird kung fu mastery.
Right.
So
and improve it to yourself.
Yeah. Now Cuphead is available for $20. This is available for $14.99. This plays on Steam, so it will work on Mac, it will work on Windows, it will work on Linux. Cuphead right now is Windows only, but that's going to change. That's just kind of exclusive at the moment. And I believe you can get it on Xbox as well, right, Alex? Xbox One, Xbox Live, yeah. So that's my bad gaming. That requires a bit more than just a mobile device.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do next, though, Jason?
What?
I want to go crazy. All right. So not mobile.
So ready.
Not mobile laptop. I want something that's going to actually require you to like get out and about and actually do things with your body. You know what? Are you willing to be my test subject?
I'm willing to do this, yes.
All right.
Because I know the game that's involved and I can't wait.
Okay. We are going to do something that we're not going to tell you what game it is. I'm just going to say that it is extraordinarily warm.
Yes, it's warmer.
Right.
It's maybe a little bit warmer than lukewarm.
Yes. Maybe even super warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And we'll get to the super warm in just a bit, but first let's take another break to thank another sponsor of Know How. Now, Jason, I kind of had a worry for my parents a while back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in a nice neighborhood, but as happens with a lot of nice neighborhoods, people realized that there were a lot of elderly people living in that neighborhood, and burglaries went through the roof.
Oh, wow.
It really kind of. In fact, there was. I haven't said this before on the network, but my sister was vacationing at that house in Las Vegas, and she heard someone knocking at the door, and she ignored it because she was working, and then all of a sudden she hears a window breaking.
Oh, that's so scary.
And my sister, when she's scared, she gets scary, and then they just ran. But I was thinking, you know what, if no one was home, or if my parents were home,
that would have been, yeah.
Nightmare scenario, right?
Absolutely.
So what I started looking for is I wanted a way to secure the house, to secure the perimeter. Now, at first I looked at some standard security cameras. They didn't really do anything. I mean, they could tell me someone broke in after they broke in. But what about a device that could actively let you find out who's coming to your house, who's coming to your door, who's casing the joint? That's why I'm so happy to have Ring as a sponsor of Know How. Now, Ring makes an entire ecosystem of security devices. They started with the Ring video doorbell all those years ago, but slowly they built up more and more gadgets and gizmos, devices, security pieces of your infrastructure that allow you to keep tabs on all your most precious possessions or your most precious family members. Ring, right now, their mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Over 1 million people use their amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. In fact, that's the first device that I installed. And that Ring video doorbell that I installed on my parents' house, well, it was used to catch people who were stealing power from my parents, to catch people across the street who were stealing UPS packages. But they've gone beyond doorbells. They've increased their perimeter so that they now allow you to do things like set up motion-activated searchlights and floodlights. Now, the Ring knows that home security begins at the front door, but it doesn't end there. That's why they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Now, just like Ring's video doorbell, the Floodlight Cam is motion activated, and it's a floodlight that connects to your phone. With HD video and two-way audio, it lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property. You can see and speak to visitors, even set off an alarm right from your home. Now, with Ring's Floodlight Cam, when things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is. Whether you're home or away, the Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your house and on everything inside of it. Ring Floodlight Cams offer the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hands. It was named the Wall Street Journal's Best of CES 2017, and for good reason. You can monitor every corner of your property with a Ring of Security kit, and all their kits include a Ring video doorbell and your choice of either 1, 2, or 3 floodlight cams. You can also connect your Ring video doorbell with your favorite smart locks and hubs for added convenience, monitoring, and security. So here's what we want you to do. I want you to have the peace of mind that I have with my family home in Las Vegas. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit when you go to ring.com/knowhow. That's ring.com/knowhow. And we thank Ring for their support of Know How.
Just get warmed up over here.
Someone's striking a pose.
Just get warmed up. You know,
I don't know what you're talking
do
about.
Before you play this game.
Well, we're going to get Jason all rigged up in the mixed reality headset in just a bit, but I thought we might want to take a gander back because this game has been in development for a long time. And in fact, 2 years ago at GDC, I was with OMG Chad. That's right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Chad, formerly of the Twit TV network. We checked out a little kiosk, didn't have much of a buzz, but they had something that looked spectacular. And here it is. This is OMG Chad and Superhot.
Chad is playing a game called Superhot. Now, Chad, this is a weird kind of game because time only moves when you move. So what are you doing?
You move. So this is almost, you could consider it almost like a puzzle game because there's certain elements of where people are, where they, oh, I just got wrecked. Of certain people where people will almost always enter at the same spot. But time, as you said, moves only when you move. So you're doing a weird sort of, I need to be in the right place at the right time, and I sort of control all of that. So I could have thrown the bottle at that first guy, but now this time I'm going to hold it for the second guy who's firing these bullets so that you can see move past me in a very slow manner. And so I'm going to use this
to get wrecked. It's like a combination of Groundhog Day and Edge of Tomorrow and a Stargate episode, because you can set up every action you're going to do, and it is a puzzle because you go back every time you get killed and you try not to get killed the next time around.
Absolutely. And let's see if I finally got this guy. He picked back up his gun. Let's.
Chad with a shotgun, gentlemen. It is time.
Absolutely. So this is, I think, one of the newest and freshest games out there. This is a game that was actually released as a demo online a while ago, and now this is their actual release available to the public. I'm trying to dodge bullets here. Don't lose your head, he says, because I just got a headshot. And there's also different aspects of, which weapon. So I ran out of ammo. I think I just shattered a shotgun. I believe that's what I just did. So, yeah, very, very cool and sort of fresh game here at GDC.
There you have it. If you ever wanted to pretend like you were Neo from The Matrix, you got to try Superhot.
And we are back. Okay, so right now you may notice that Jason Howell is no longer with me. That's because he's over there. He's actually inside the mixed reality portal right now. Jason, what are you seeing? I mean, if you could switch over to that input. This is actually what he sees inside the mixed reality.
Yeah, so I mean, basically I'm in, I don't know what they actually call this, but it seems like the lobby of Windows Mixed Reality, where you can kind of jump around and take a look at things. Here's a hologram section. You can probably browse the web, do a Skype call and everything. But over here is the Microsoft Store, and as you can see, Superhot is in front of me.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick this off. This is actually an app that you were able to purchase inside the Microsoft Store itself. Yeah. I will say Steam apps are going to start working with these in just a bit, the Steam VR. Right now it's limited to the Windows Store. That's not going to stay that way. Now, I played this in 2D and it was a lot of fun, but really this thing was made for 3D. Yeah. Now, the fun thing about this is time really only moves when you move. Oh. Wait, did you just block his punch?
Okay. I will say, okay, so what Chad and you showed off was Superhot. I'm going slow because because he's going to shoot at me in a second. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. And I got shot. When Chad was playing this, it was just in 2D. It was just on a computer. And which is amazing to me because this game was not developed with VR in mind. VR was an afterthought. Yet when you play this game in VR, it feels like it was made for it. Like
right?
I love this game so much. It's just so much fun to play, and it's so immersive, and you feel the threat when people are coming at you, especially when they shoot at you. Like, there were times when I was playing this the other night when a bullet gets fired at my face, and I'm always so bad at throwing things. Oh. And a bullet comes flying at your face, and it feels real. Like, you feel like you're about to get hit in the face with a bullet, and it's kind of scary.
The other weird thing about this, and I noticed this after playing this for about 30 minutes, you don't get,
dang it.
You must have gotten grazed. You don't get dizzy like you do with a lot of 3D games, VR games. Did you just throw the guns?
Yes. Okay, now.
I can tell.
That just freaks me out when the bullet comes right to your face. This is such a stressful game, but I love it so much.
You've played this a few times. Now, do you get frustrated like I would with Cuphead, where you start over and over again?
You definitely hit that point with this game because you're really trying to work through the sequences of things. There are multiple ways. It's not like you can only do one sequence. But yes, absolutely, because they stack these levels. As you can see, I'm doing the same things over and over again. And after like 5 or 7 of them, it's like you pass and it starts chanting super hot at you. And that's when you've kind of like passed on to the next phase. Ugh.
Nice.
Ow. Yeah, there we go.
So for the audio listeners right now, you're just hearing a lot of chaos. Basically, what Jason is doing is grabbing anything he possibly can to defend himself. I mean,
there we go.
This is what it would feel like to be inside of a John Woo film, where everything's moving in slow motion.
I want this gun. See, okay.
You just wanted that. You wanted the super hot.
What can I say? I'm super hot.
Now, you can actually move around the space, right? Because you're staying relatively in one spot, but I set up a large boundary for the game.
I'm ready to play. There we go. Show your dedication. Yes, you can move around. And I feel like Windows Mixed Reality does a really great job of this tracking. I love that it sets the boundary around you. That's super helpful. Yeah. Although, what's going on right now?
There's probably something you have to grab.
No, it's like almost like it reset or something. But having that boundary gives you at least a little bit of confidence. And when you get close, it does that little,
little bounce.
Aim for the head. Oh, that's right. This is really warped. I have to shoot myself.
What?
And here I am.
Oh, okay.
This is like the control.
I get it.
It took me a while to figure that out last night. I was like, wait a minute, that's really...
You were in a VR.
Yes. So now I grab the disc, I put it in,
you know,
and then I grab
some people don't actually know what that floppy is. It's a 3.5-inch floppy, folks.
Exactly. That's a floppy disk. So it's loading. I put the helmet on. There we go.
Was that the 720, 1.4, or 2.8?
There we go. And now I'm here. And it says break in. There's a little bit of lag that's happening sometimes, but okay, so now I've got Uzis.
Oh, this won't go well. Now, folks, the headset that he's using, again, we took a look at it last week. It's the Acer AH101, the D80Y. It's a Windows mixed reality headset. It's got 2 wireless controllers. Here's the thing. It's the same price as the Oculus Rift, but I would argue that it's far better. The tracking is better. It doesn't require external sensors. It's inside-out tracking. The controllers are fantastic.
Freaks me out.
1.35 pounds, really good fastening system so it stays on your head. A 13-foot cable. All it needs is HDMI and USB 3 and it's good to go. It's got dual 2.89-inch hinged 2880 by 1440 LCD displays with a 90 hertz refresh. That's 1440 by 1440 per eye. 607 pixels per inch. You get a 100-degree field of view, so it actually gives you a little bit of that peripheral. And then, of course, it's got the proximity sensor, gyroscope, accelerometer, magnetometer, tracking camera, a Bluetooth sync, spatial audio, and motion controllers. That's what's allowing this. Now, Jason's using this for a game, for Superhot, but Microsoft is really pitching this as sort of, well, this is a production device. You can use this in that portal that you saw before he jumped into the game to browse the web, to start up a Skype call or multiple Skype calls. You can use the translator function so that you can speak in English and be heard in another language and vice versa. And what I'm going to be using this for is I can actually use this to help me when I'm doing my 3D designs. I can actually visualize the design in 3D space rather than having to flip the screen back and forth all the time. But of course, for Jason, it's all about Superhot.
That's pretty much all that I ever want to do. Well, you know what Superhot reminds me of? Did you ever play the game? It was a light gun game in the arcades called Police Trainer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It totally reminds me of that. It was one of my all-time favorite light gun games in arcades, and this just reminds me of that, like on steroids. I love it. It's just such an adrenaline
How much time have you played so far?
This game in total? Yeah, probably a couple hours.
You have to John Woo it, by the way.
You have to. It's so rewarding to do that.
Oh, and by the way,
grab the gun out of his hand.
Both Oculus and Microsoft have developed a way so right now what you're watching Jason play the game, but only he can see what he's actually seeing. They're adding features so that you can actually stream you inside the game, which I think is far more rewarding because people don't just think you're a nerd with a helmet.
Oh, so you can put on your helmet and watch from their perspective?
Well, no. So like on a 2D screen, it will give you like a representation of what they look like in the game.
Oh, interesting. It would also be nice to have like a shared experience. Like I want to watch somebody else play from their perspective.
And
yes,
then kill them.
It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
Uzis!
Oh shoot!
You know, if you hadn't used up all your bullets, you probably could have killed them too.
Whatever. I'll punch him instead. Grab that gun.
Shoot. I'm feeling a lot of Team 4-star here saying, "Why didn't you dodge?"
Oh man. I don't know how much fun this is to still watch, but I'm having a blast.
Oh, folks, we know we're going to let Jason continue to play. We know that this has been a long episode. We understand there's a lot of information here. We're going to make sure you get links to all the games we showed off, to all the hardware that we showed off at our show notes. You're going to find that at twit.tv/KH, Know-How. Also, while you're there, why not subscribe? It's the best way to make sure that we can continue doing Know-How, continue showing you all this coolness, the goofing off, the tech, the hardware, the things that we really love here at twit.tv. Again, twit.tv/KH. Also, don't forget that you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/PadreSJ. Jason, well, they find you at twitter.com/Jason Howell.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Jason Howell, all about Android, Tech News Weekly, and actually this weekend, new Screensavers, where I hope the entire episode will be me playing Superhot.
Well, Superhot and Android games.
Oh. Yes. No, just Superhot, man.
Don't forget, you can also find us on the socials at Google+. Just go there and look for Know-How. It's a very short approval process. Once you're in, you get almost 12,000 now. 12,000 Kitas, people who can ask questions, answer questions. Maybe you can share your knowledge with the community. Maybe post videos and pics of your projects so we can show them off here on Know-How. Finally, thanks to everyone here who made this show super hot. That includes Jammer B and yes, our fantastic TD, Alex. Alex, this was a hard show. Where do they find you on Twitter?
You forget what show this was?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. Yeah, you can find me somewhere. I'm behind the desk.
Twitter.com/ANELF. That's just his thing. Until next time, I am super cold Father Robert Balaser. That's super hot Jason Howell.
Oh, yeah.
And now that you know,
go play!
Go play.